Well, the author of one of America's most talked about books is out with another.
John Grogan is the author of Marley and Me.
It's back here.
And his new book is called The Longest Trip Home. John joins us now live to talk about it. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
You know, first of all, congratulations. I was reading the research here. Marley and Me, Evan, listen to this, 76 weeks on the New York Times nonfiction bestsellers list, with 23 of those weeks in the #1 position. I knew it was popular, but that is quite impressive. Are you hoping to do the same with this new book?
Well, I'm really hoping that readers connect with my new book, and I think they will, because it's a story about family and love and the connections we make as families. And as you know, we all have families.
And John, you've been a journalist for years, so you know something about demographics. We love having you on because the Oprah crowd, the women especially, love the work that you've put out there. But for folks who haven't read Marley and Me, remind us what that was about.
Well, Marley and Me, really simply, was the story of a young couple starting out in their marriage, my wife and me, as newlyweds, and bringing home a cute little Labrador Retriever puppy who quickly grew into this 100-pound steamroller of wild, uncontrollable energy. And Marley turned our lives upside down just as we were trying to figure out what our lives as a couple would be. And he really changed us in profound ways and taught us some important lessons in life.
And people feel so often connected to their animals. I think that's why they connected so well with this one. The Longest Trip Home, give us a little more insight where you go with this one.
Well, The Longest Trip Home, in a way, is a prequel to Marley and Me because it tells the story of my life before I was married and an adult. It starts in childhood, and I'm telling the story of growing up in this big, warm, boisterous Irish Catholic family in Detroit with very traditional Catholic parents who really, they loved each other, they loved their kids. It was a very happy childhood, but one that had this tension in it, and that my parents really felt the strong commitment to raising us as good Catholics as they were. And I was growing up, in the 1960s and 70s with different ideas. And so it follows the struggle of my life going through those expectations and trying to find my place in the world where I could be comfortable.
What was it like for you delving back into all of those memories? A lot of people think, how would you even begin when you write your memoir? Because at least I don't think I'd remember everything. How did you remember everything, and what was it like for you going back to many of those places in your head?
Well, it was really a wonderful journey of discovery for me. I started by gathering information, old letters and journal entries and family photographs and movies, and it was amazing the memories it unlocked. And many of the stories I tell and many of them are funny stories about sort of the foibles of growing up Catholic and not being the best Catholic boy in the world. And the stories that made it to the book are the ones that really stuck out and were meaningful to me and that I never lost.
John, let me wrap with this question. I remember I did a lot more writing when I was a kid. I always thought I wanted to be a writer, and my father told me something I still remember about writing. He said, tell interesting stories about other people and stop thinking that anyone cares about you. You've got to write about other people. And yet you've done such an amazing job writing about your own background and your own life. How have you overcome that challenge with readers?
Well, I'm glad I didn't listen to your father's advice. But I think the important message is to write about something you really care passionately about. And my new book means a tremendous amount to me because it's about a family that means so much to me, my own family. And it's really a story, ultimately, of how family love can overcome even big family differences. And that was our case.
John, thank you for your time this morning. Before we go, the movie Marley and Me with, of course, Jennifer Aniston, Owen Wilson, opens pretty soon, right? Is it December?
It opens on Christmas Day, and I was able to be on the set for several days of it and really liked what I was seeing.
You get a cameo?
I do have a cameo.
All right, I knew it.
Tell us about it.
The people who like the book can watch and see if they can see me in there. There's one scene that my wife and I are in the background. They were smart not to give us any lines. We're in the background with Owen and Jennifer there. So it was a lot of fun for us.
A lot of people are going to wonder too, what are your thoughts about Owen and Jennifer? What was it like working with them?
They were really fantastic. I mean, first of all, they were both much more down to earth than I was expecting because, for celebrity actors as they are. But they were great, and they really embraced the story, and it was an out-of-body experience for me, as you can imagine, watching Owen Wilson answering to my name. But he was great, and he really captured the role, and Jennifer was wonderful too. They have an amazing on-screen chemistry, and I think America's going to really love them together.
All right, John Grogan, thank you so much. Best of luck with the movie. We're going to be watching for your cameo, and we'll see what critics think. And we've also got The Longest Trip Home to look forward to. Thanks for your time this morning.
Thanks for having me on.